Yeah, welcome.
Did I make it?
No. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fan Interactive Show. Yes, Liverpool looked like they were going to go 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League. As it stands, it's 7 points because James Tarkowski scores the goal of his life, really, in the last minute, and it's a sickener. Listen, it is what it is at this stage. I think it was a clear foul on Ibu Konate, but I just don't think they were ever going to rule it out. I think there'd have been a riot in that stadium. And the offside was the way that they were going to try and get rid of it. It's just a huge shame. Like I say, 95 minutes, two lads clash heads. It felt like the game was all just running and running and running. But yeah, that was a sickener way to drop points. As it is, Liverpool do extend their lead at the top of the league table, but it should have been 9, not that 7. It was a bit reminiscent, like Caleb said, a bit like the Jagielka goal. That's exactly what it was like. It just out of nowhere, a ball from the blue, and it's a shame. I don't think Liverpool managed that last few minutes very well. We were pressing when I didn't think we needed to be, and yeah, it's just an absolute stinker, really. Like I say, to not win that game when we were there and thereabouts is such a shame. Everton, their fans are on the pitch and stuff for a draw, and at least I understand it. They didn't want to lose that last derby at Goodison. I understand it from an emotional point of view, but yeah, it just absolute killer to take. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Anyway, your thoughts. It is the Fan Interactive Show. Let me know your thoughts first of all. Alex says we didn't deserve to win the game. I just think it was always going to be a scrappy, horrible, nasty game, and you've just got to win. You've got to just, you're not going to play particularly fantastic in that situation. You've got to just grind it out, and it looked like Liverpool had done it. They got themselves the goals. I actually felt they dealt with most of the period up to that point pretty well. Alisson didn't have too much to do, but then a bouncing ball for again a centre half, and he scores the worldie. It's a stinker. I think, and again, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. I thought it was a foul, but I just couldn't imagine the fact that they were ever going to give that, to be honest with you. Right, let's have a say. Joseph says too many points dropped from late goals conceded. It's really not a good sign, despite being way in front. Champions kill this. Yeah, maybe, but like again, Liverpool have won a game or two with late goals as well. So, but you're right, it's very disappointing that that goal goes in. Like I say, it's the strike of dreams from James Tarkowski. You could give him that 100 times, and like Jagielka there, I'm watching on TV, he probably scores it twice out of 100 or whatever. But listen, it does take Liverpool 3 games clear at the top. There's going to have to be a big swing at the top. So, but it's not. I think if they'd have won today, I think Arsenal fans would have been very, very dispirited. The fact that it's now that maybe gives them a little tiny bit of hope. But yeah, it is what it is. The drama after the fact, well, Liverpool going to have to deal with that. Curtis Jones sent off, and a Slot got sent off as well. Which, yeah, the Corey sent off for Everton. It was chaos really down there, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm finding it tough to sum that up. I'd like you guys to give me your thoughts on that one. Lee Roberts, Trent should have kept the ball instead of looking for Núñez in the build-up to the equaliser. I think he's just trying to corner flag that as best as he can. But yeah, again, I don't think Liverpool's... Again, I've jumped straight in here. It's hard to say, but the game management wasn't fantastic. But like I say, it just felt like 100 things when Everton's way there. The bounce of a ball, the tightest of tight offsides. I think there's a foul. But yeah, you're right. Liverpool's game management should have meant that we weren't even defending that deep in the first place. Ferran says Konate was fouled. That's a joke. And I think that's the point Arne Slot was trying to make at the end. It did look like a foul. But it wasn't... it wasn't given. And that's where you're at. I don't think he reffed the game particularly well. I'm watching the highlights of the goal now. I think... it looks a foul, but I just don't think it's one VAR they're going to give you. If I'm honest, let's just have a look again. I'm watching this replay for live for the first time. I was checking the offside. It was very, very tight, but it looks like he just wasn't offside. Yeah, it's a weird way it even falls there. It bounces. It's a lucky ricochet off someone. It loops into the box. It probably is a foul, but I also think Konate could be stronger. And like I say, it's just a volley of his dreams from James Tarkowski, isn't it? It's such an absolute shame. Right, let's see who we've got. Yeah, Petros says you're never getting a foul there. You're right, it was just mental. Yeah, Arne Slot was furious from looking at the replays there. How did the game go to 98 for 5 minutes and an injury for 1 minute? It makes no sense, says Callum. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had my stopwatch out, Paul, to be honest. I haven't noticed it. But yeah, it was It did feel like there was a lot of time added on there, didn't it? Let me know your thoughts on the performance for Liverpool as a whole, and guys, as well, because we can't change that now. I thought it was a very scrappy, even game, and when you have scrappy, even games, the best players tend to do something with it, and that's what I thought Mohamed Salah had done. You know, a wonderful assist and a wonderful goal, and I thought, well, that'll do that. Yeah, I feel so deflated. It's mad because, like I say, Liverpool have extended their lead, but to throw 2 points away like that is just really, really sickening. They're going to have to go on now, obviously beat Wolves at the weekend and then go from there. But you've just got to hope that this doesn't derail Liverpool in a psychological sense. Again, at the end, Liverpool lost Curtis Jones. The manager got himself sent off. It was a very, very emotional end to the game. And you've got to hope now you just compartmentalise, easy for me to say that, and move on going forwards. Right then, Marcus Ward says, we didn't deserve to win. We give the ball away all game. Wasn't creating anything, and Diaz was a ghost. It was a lucky deflection to fall for Salah for the goal. It's one of them, mate. It was just that type of game where it was scrappy. Lucky deflections, look at their goal there. It's not exactly freaking perfect, is it? Their second goal either, but I see your point. On balance, a play, a draw is probably the right result. It's just a huge shame for Liverpool. It happens in the 97th minute or something ridiculous. It's an absolute sickler. Liverpool didn't play well, and we're lucky to be ahead, says Jake, but they go, we're robbed. I don't know if James is a Liverpool fan or somebody else. I don't know, from another club, but yeah, he's saying it was an absolute robbery. Ricardo Buckton, pathetic. That was the worst way to end the game for our season. If it was 1-1, it would have been different. That's the thing. It feels like, it does feel deflating, like CC says. That's the problem. You've got to just hope like the lads are now mentally strong enough to leave that walk away. You've got a point. We always draw at Goodison Park. We draw a lot. Move on from it next time. But in the moment, yeah, it's an absolute stinker. Roger said Liverpool defended like crap. I disagree. I felt for the most part Liverpool defended quite well. You know, Alisson wasn't really troubled, was he? It was just, again, they just didn't deal with that moment at all well enough. That last moment, there was a couple of times it should have gone better than it did. And unfortunately, James Tarkowski, again, arrives at the back post. It's just sickening, really. In hindsight, I wish Curtis Jones would have saved it, like penalty, or like dived in front of it. But yeah, it's a stinker. Tariq says a blatant foul on Konate with the super chat. I think it was a foul. I just don't think they're ever going to give you that. I think they're worried about getting out that stadium alive if they give that. The offside was going to be our chance maybe to do something with it, but yeah, I thought it was a foul, to be honest with you, but I just don't think they are ever going to overturn that one. I would think the ref should have given it. I think Konate probably should have went down and threw himself on the floor, but again, it's all hindsight, isn't it? Baloo says, we shut off at the very end, but still 7 points clear. Yeah, that is right. We are. You're absolutely right. Extra time. It did feel like a lot of extra time was added on. A lot of you guys are saying that as well. But anyway. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about the clock. Where did the 2 minutes added on come from? The Everton players were down for 45 seconds. It did feel like that way there. I didn't see that. It felt like he was just waiting for them to have that attack. But he did play 2 extra time. That is what it is. You've still got to defend it better, haven't you, unfortunately. Stinky. It doesn't feel great, if I'm honest with you. But what I would say, like I say, you are 7 points clear. Put the pressure back on Arsenal to say to them, go and overturn 3 different results. It's give them a glimmer of hope, though, hasn't it? That's all. That's what today's done. It's give them that tiny glimmer. They should have had none, and it's just opened the door, unfortunately. Right, let's see who else we've got in the chat. Just Life says the league is done with that huge point. Trust me, it's over. Are you saying that from like Liverpool have won the league or Liverpool have lost the league? 7 points means Arsenal have got to overturn 3 games with no strikers and forwards. That's what I see it as. It's not ideal. I would have wanted 9, but it's not the end of the world either. Conto says Alisson is no good. Kelleher stops both goals. I don't think anyone stops that last one. I think the first one, usually Alisson's better than that. Now, I don't know if it's because we were caught out from the quick free kick and he wasn't alert to that. He was more worried about something else. I didn't think he did particularly great on that one. I don't think anyone can say that. Excuse me, that second goal, it was a sickener, really. I'd have to go back and see, like I say, the whole ending of, but I don't think Liverpool controlled it at all well enough, and that's the real sickener there. And when that goal goes in, it's just absolutely heartbreaking. It's absolutely devastating. Right then. Sakib says, my head is on Pluto. 7 more wins, though, and that's it. And that's what Liverpool needs to think about. You just need, again, that's happened now, and it's horrible, and it should have been avoided. And Arne Slot and the players obviously incensed at the referee and things like that. But you are right that you can't change that now, unfortunately. Live and learn from it. You've got to go ahead now because there's more big, tough away games coming. You know, Liverpool, we said 5 games in 15 days. There's 4 more to come now, and you've got to get points in them. You know, you've got to beat Wolves at the weekend. That's all that's on your mind now. You have to move on from it. It's an absolute sickening way to go about it. The only positive, I suppose, is that isn't a winning goal for them. It's an equalising goal. They celebrated like it was a winning goal, and I understand it. A very emotionally charged moment for them. But like I say, yeah, it's fine margins. If that clash of heads doesn't happen, like Stephen says here, we win the game. And it is that they were about to blow full time. That clash of heads changes things. Unfortunately, you feel I tend to agree. And then I don't know, mate. Sometimes things just feel like they're meant to be and go against you. Like the way that felt to him, the way it all panned out. Yeah, it's a massive, massive blow, unfortunately. But again, I go back to it. We're going to have to move on from it, and we're going to have to hopefully regroup for the head of the weekend. Yeah, like Raheem Dharma, the super chat, thanks very much, Raheem, says, Raheem, sorry, it wasn't even a free kick for their first goal. Angry, yeah, it was a dive. I mean, that lad got subbed off, didn't he? Injured later, I said, you know, but it was a dive, you're right. But again, both things are true. The officiating was bad, but Liverpool didn't deal with both situations well enough as well. Both things, I think, are true. Andy App says, realistically, we now need to win away at either Villa or City, which could be a real test. Onwards and upwards. You say that, Andy, right? You're probably right. I'm just trying to work out some maths. If they draw both of them, for example, and they're on 50, say they beat Wolves and draw those 2, and they're on 62 points after 26 games. Yeah, no, they would be on 62 points after 27 games. Arsenal could get to 59 if they win all 3. So even so, Liverpool will still be top of the league. But yeah, you're all of a sudden you're getting into a tighter. Yeah, it's messy. So yeah, you're probably right. You're probably gonna have to win one of them. First, they'll beat Wolves. Just first of all, have to beat Wolves. Right then, PH. Yeah, there's a lot about the officials here. Oliver used to be the best ref. I don't know what's happened to him. He's been shy for 2 seasons now. Yeah, I thought he was poor. But as Roger says, yeah, the lesson is play the game hard till the whistle. Exactly that. You've got to do better in the situations. I do think it was very, very unlucky. There was about 4 different bounces of a ball and things going everywhere. But Liverpool kind of lost their heads a little bit as well. So you're right. Both things are true. I know Arsenal fans hated Michael Oliver recently. Well, I think Liverpool fans haven't exactly got him high on their list either, as it stands. Jay says, Arsenal still have to come to Anfield. You know, walk alone. Absolutely, you're right. They do. And that's a long way away. I thought we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Josh Davies, what was the Slot red card for? I think at the end of the game, mate, he went and had to go Michael Oliver. I didn't see exactly what he did, but he was given a straight red. It wasn't even a yellow, so I can't even imagine what he said to him. But I'm guessing he wasn't very happy with what happened at the end. Right, let's see. Harry, come on, we're 7 points clear. Come on, lads, it's not that bad, is it? Haha. And that's the thing, like I say, it's a sickener and you're gutted about it, but that is true. Liverpool are still 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League. I can see David Moyes there celebrating like he's got a winner. They haven't. They've just about got themselves an equaliser, but yeah, it feels so deflating. Unfortunately, it just feels really, really sickening, unfortunately. It's one of those things. It's an absolute sickener. Right, who else have we got in here? How long will they be banned for, though? Now, Curtis got a second yellow, so I'm guessing he just misses the next game. I don't know what the Arne Slot red... I don't know how that goes and how that's going to impact things, if it impacts things at all. But yeah, that's what it was. Freddie, football fans, how did that fight start? Decore was celebrating in front of our fans, basically, and Curtis Jones didn't like it, and we went and got involved. That's how that happened. AT says we are 7 points clear, but for how long? Well, it's until Arsenal play early morning Saturday at least, and then Liverpool play Sunday. That's where we're at now, isn't it? We're back into that one. Arsenal will be hoping to make it 4 points. That's all they can do. And I think they play Leicester, so you'd imagine they win that one. You never know, of course. And then we're back into that situation now. But 7 points is still a significant gap. It's worth mentioning. It's not insurmountable, just as 9 wouldn't be insurmountable. But fingers crossed it doesn't work. Stephen says it should be 9, and this could derail us like the United last season in the Cup. That's the thing. It should be 9. And you've got to hope the players switch on. I think that more last season. I think there was a lot more in terms of injuries and fatigue and stuff that added to Liverpool. But you're right, emotionally, it wasn't great as well. So yeah, we do have to react better to that one. But it's one of those things. I can see, I'm on Twitter, by the way, you won't be able to see it. Piers Morgan, big Arsenal fans, wrote "my hero" and then a picture of Michael Oliver, which just goes to it goes to show a little bit exactly what they're thinking of them as well. It's one of them. By the way, it's worth mentioning, and like there was even a point, it was very late on when Salah's running through and we didn't get the foul for that kind of thing. When Salah was running through and he definitely got fouled, even if Oliver gives that, the game might be over. There's just a million different things that just didn't go our way, and it's just feel, I honestly just feel sick at the moment. It's a real absolute, it's an absolute gut-wrenching way not to win a game. Like I say, the only way that would be worse is if that was a game losing goal. Thankfully, it was only to draw. But yeah, I'll be honest, I feel very, very deflated about it. You guys can keep getting comments in the chat. Who else have we had? Steve M. We go again on Sunday. Let's show the fight against Wolves and make no mistakes. Yep, you're right. 100% agree with that one. Any more thoughts on this game, guys? Anyone you think, when, we're all talking, I think we've done a lot on the officials and all that kind of stuff. Let me know your thoughts on the players that are good, bad, indifferent, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we'll have to play a ranking show later as well where we can do the same, but I'd love to know your thoughts on any of that stuff. Rachel Todd says, I was at the stadium and it was scary. I can imagine when that goal goes off, Rachel, it wasn't fun. I was just hoping that offside was going to save us at the end, and it just didn't, unfortunately. Shroob says, with the 279 super chat, thanks very much. We're still relatively okay, and we're still 7 points clear. Yes, we are. Yeah, both. That's absolutely right. That's got to be the only thing you take from it. Brett says, this feels way worse than that United 4-3 game. Well, I don't know. I don't think they were both pretty bad. I think I can compartmentalise this one with that. We're not out the cup. It wasn't after extra time. We haven't got those players in, and it did take us further ahead in the league. But I can see your point in the immediate aftermath. It's not fun. Petros says, Steve, would you have taken a draw before the game? I said no, I wouldn't have took a draw. I think a draw was an okay result. I did say that, but I wouldn't have took it because I think we could beat Everton, and we should have beat Everton. But yeah, it's all those things. It's one of those things, unfortunately. Yeah. Kaysen says, I can't help but feel negative right now. I'm not a pessimist, but it feels like Man United 2 all over again. That's the thing, isn't it? At this moment, the only positive I've got from this season in these drop points and stuff like that now, that's Liverpool's 7th game they haven't won, 6 draws and 1 loss, is that the real sickeners have felt like the draws. The Newcastle goal, Man United, and now today. That's the only sickener, is that it's not like last minute defeats that you're worried about. But yeah, you are right, mate. It's a bit of a tough one to work on, that one. Right, let's see who else we've got. Amir says, don't worry, Reds, we are still top of the league. Yeah, that is true. NASA says, this is a good point. Arsenal, nice pun. We'll drop more points, our title. You never walk alone. Positives, people. We'll stuff the Toffees 4-0 at Anfield. Hopefully, I hope you're right. I don't think a point at Goodison's ever horrendous results before in context for us, because we always draw here. Again, it's the manner, isn't it? That's the problem. It's the manner of how you didn't win that game. It just makes you want to vomit, and that's where I'm at. If I'm honest. Right. Declan says 98 minutes played when Everton, it was Everton who held the last up minutes, and the foul on Konate was not picked up on VAR. I don't think you're going to get that on VAR, if I'm honest with you. I think Konate, it probably is a foul, but I think also, it's one of them, just win the fucking head of somebody. Yeah, it's a stinker. The time adds on's a big issue, I think, and real. And I hate the fact he didn't give the free kick for Salah earlier on, but that's Michael Oliver. Listen, he's done a few things this year. He did it. He's done Arsenal a favour. What's the word? he's done things that have hurt Arsenal a little bit. Now he's done one to Liverpool. It's just one of them things. But any Arsenal fans who think Michael Oliver hates them, well, he's done you a bit of a favour tonight, so I wouldn't agree with that one. I think he's just a shit ref, to be honest with you. Yeah, right. Let's have a little look. Who else do we've got? James Pond says it was 100% a foul. Canate had the clear head and was shoved in the back. Yeah, I think it was a foul. I just don't think it's one that you're going to get from VAR. I think the referee has to give down. He was never going to do it. There'd have been a fucking riot, and that's what he probably shit himself a little bit. Jason says we weren't good, so a draw is a fair result. I felt like I say on the balance of play, if we won it, we'd have been saying we've showed character there. We haven't played amazingly, and we've sneaked one out. But yeah, again, I go back to it. It just makes me feel sick, if I'm honest with you. It really does make me feel sick. Shroob says, we're fighting Arsenal and they're going to drop points. I would hope so, and I would agree with that one. Harry says, the heart shown by Curtis Slot and the lads at the end is why we will win this league. You never walk alone. Thanks for both your super chats, guys. I like to hope. And I still think we will win the league. I'm hopeful we will anyway. But like I say, I think today if we'd have won that, it would have been pretty much done for us. I think they'd have given up hope. This just opens the door a little bit for them. And like I say, things can change very, very quickly. Liverpool have got to regroup and go again at the weekend now and not let this get in their heads. Because they've got Wolves and then they've got Villa and they're not going to be easy. You've got to make sure we get it done again from here. Stephen Haw, not me. Is there another Stephen Haw? Well, that's a Spider-Man meme if ever I've seen one, isn't it? Hello, Stephen. Same spelling as me as well. Takori was well out of order. He's given the big on in front of their fans. He's got himself a red card, is what he's done. But yeah, that's up to him. He's got himself sent off the next game now. It's one of them things. Right. Yeah, Ryan says if we'd been 2-0 down and come back and drew 2-2, then fair enough. Yeah, that's the thing. It's the context. That's why I go back to it. The context of how we drew the game is why it's really difficult and a real stinker. But anyhow, that is the one. Yeah, Paul B, there are 14 games left. It's a long way to go. You're absolutely right, Paul. Winning Premier Leagues isn't meant to be easy. Liverpool could have made it a lot easier for themselves today had they just held on for like 10 more seconds. Or if Jagielka fucking Freudian slip there, flashbacks to that. If Tarkovsky fires that one over the bar, but alas, wasn't meant to be. Yeah, we just got into a scrap with them, and it's an absolute horror show, really. Bora says, we started the day 6 points clear and we're ending it 7 points clear. I'm pissed, but no need to lose my head. That's kind of where I'm at, mate, to be honest with you. I'm not pissed, I'm gutted. I feel sick. But you are right on that as well. Like, you are right. Yeah, you're right. I've got nothing to say, mate. I completely spot on. Jack Lloyd says, why did they celebrate like they won the quadruple? Listen, they didn't want to lose the last derby at Goodison. That's why they celebrated like that. And listen, when your centre-half scores a goal in the 98th minute, whether it's a goal, a winner or an equaliser, you are going to celebrate. It's emotion, it's football. I don't blame them for celebrating like that. I think the players afterwards, I think like the Corey's a bit soft getting himself sent off, but I think their fans, they've got every right to let that off. You know what I mean? They were devastated, they were gutted. So I think it's probably still that. But it's one of those things. VC says, I had a feeling Slot should have brought Endo on instead. Yeah, I'm guessing that means for Jota. Listen, Jota as well. He has that chance, doesn't he, where he could have done something and it didn't happen. Would they have made a difference? Possibly. We said that we were watching in the studio. Could he have brought when he brought Jota on? I think we were saying maybe Endo would have been a good sub. He didn't. But I thought, I agree. I thought that was probably what he was going to do. Dalipool says, Steve, I'm gutted, but I'm less nervous that it's Arsenal chasing us and not Manchester City. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, mate. If this was Man City, we would feel devastated. I agree with that one. But like I say, Arsenal showed last year, and you've got to give a credit to them. They went on a big run after their little mid-season international break. Now, listen, this season's different. They've got loads of injuries, and I understand that, but you've got to pay respect to everybody. But yeah, it's a devastating stinker. Way to not win that game, isn't it? Yeah, again, a lot on the referee. I think we've done the referee. I think we all agree the ref was shite. I don't need to go. I don't think we need to do too much more than that one. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Basically, Vader, I genuinely think they only gave the goal at the end not to upset the fans. Listen, I just don't think you're ever going to get a VAR for that decision. I just don't think they're ever going to do it. And half right, I think there would have been a riot in that ground, so maybe that was part of it as well. I thought we were going to get saved by the offside, but it was so close it wasn't to be. But there was a million different ways that ref didn't play well, or ref did the game well, but I'm gutted with it. Craig says, I would have took a point away at Everton before the game, 7 points clear, keep the faith, boys, and keep positive. I say, I wouldn't have took the point, but I see a thing of like, yeah, you would. It's just a circumstance. You can't separate a point at Goodison, it is what it is, to how they got that point. That's the difference, isn't it? You know, like I say, if it was 1-1 from no goals in that second half, or you know, they were 2-1 up and we got to equalise it feels different. When you concede the goal to not win, and we did this at Newcastle as well, didn't we? It's different than getting the equaliser, and that's the problem really. That's why it always feels a little bit worse. You know, if the shoes are on the other foot, and you're the one who gets that equalising goal, then it feels a little bit different. A little bit like the Fulham home game when we're down to 10 men. That always feels a little bit different. This one again, it's a bit like we've done this now. Newcastle, Man United, now today, it's just you're winning the game, see the freaking game out. It's just awful. That's why it feels worse, doesn't it? You can't ignore the context of it. But hey ho, that is where we are. David says we need to get back to winning ways against Wolves on Sunday. Absolutely, we do. AWSC, if I was told at the beginning of the season that we are top of the league with 7 points clear at this stage of the season, I would have been delighted. You're right, and again, the wider context is absolutely fine with this. It's just a sickening way not to win a game, unfortunately. I just feel feel deflated, if truth be told. Stephen says, my wife kicked me out of the bedroom for my reaction when they scored. That's a bad night. Yeah, I feel sorry. Go and make up for it, Steve. Yeah, go and make up for it. I feel your pain, pal. I was the opposite. I just fell in me. I slumped. It was awful. Absolute awful. An order of importance, it was just a scrappy game and we got dragged into this shit house. I felt that, especially in the first half, we were playing that game how Everton wanted to play it. I thought second half, to an extent, we got out of that, especially when we took the lead. I thought we were really taking the sting out of that thing. But yeah, you're right. We did get dragged into a bit of a dog of a game, and that suits them more than it suits us. JCDC, I'm mostly concerned about how poor we were above all. Yeah, again, mate, I always say this, derbies, Goodison derbies are just something different. It's almost like, yeah, again, the cliche, but like form goes and stuff. I thought Liverpool did some things well and did some things poorly. It's just you got to take it in isolation of what it was. Again, scrappy, horrible game. You hope that your best players do something for you and win you those games. And it felt like we had, like, go back to it. Salah with 2 pieces of magic and McAllister's header. You felt like you'd done enough. It's just, absolute cruel way to not win a game. James Pond says, Salah is elite. I've never seen a player like him. Not his best game, but another goal and an assist. Yeah, 2 real good moments of quality from Mo Salah, wasn't it? You are right. Ben says it's currently really 8 points ahead due to our goal difference. Yeah, I get it, but it's not as well. You know what I mean? It is, but it isn't. I mean, if the 9 would have been better with the goal difference, because then they'd have had to win 3 more games than us and overturn a goal difference. Now it just becomes 3 games where they have to just do better than us. So it's a little bit of a flip on that one, but the goal difference is significant. The problem is, of course, if you drop the points, then the goal difference flips anyway. So yeah, it's one of those things. Adam says the defence could have been better, especially Van Dijk. I felt, for the most part, I thought we'd done okay. It's just a huge shame. Right then, I'm going to wrap this section of the show up. That was the fan reaction show. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the game. Stick around though on the channel. I'm going to go over to the board very, very shortly after this quick break for the player rankings version of the show. So do come over there, and I'll catch you all later, guys.